2024 has quickly turned into the year of journaling for me. We have my reading journal here and we are going to be doing some January entries. If you are new here, hey, what's up? I'm Nala. I'm a homeschooling stay-at-home mom who is trying to regain some of that spark and passions, and reading just happens to be one of them. I'm so happy that you're here and I hope that you enjoy this video. We will also be doing my very first TBR tarot spread. So I have my tarot cards here and I'm very excited to see what cards we pull to determine some of the books that I'll read in January. I know it's a little bit late. I wasn't even sure if I was going to get it done in January because I couldn't figure out how to film how I wanted to, but I figured it out. So it's better late than never. Feel free to grab a snack and a drink and sit down and let's just chat and get cozy.
Starting off, we are going to do some of the annual spreads just to kind of update and fill in what we've read. This is my little TBR library card. Each month I have a library card dedicated to the books that I've read. I put on there the date I started it, the day I finished, and then a quick little star rating. Just super simple, but I love it. It's my favorite part of my journal, I think. And then we move on to the read bookshelf. So far in the year, I've read 4 books, so we're going to be filling in those. I've read Circe, Slewfoot, Alone with You in the Ether, and Legends and Lattes. So we're just going to fill those in super quick with these alcohol tip markers. I unintentionally made this little bottom shelf 2 of my 5-star reads, so I might make this little bottom shelf just solely 5-star reads. I'm not sure yet. So I'm just kind of checking here if I've read any of these books, because if I have, I do want to put the star rating underneath of them. And I have read Alone with You in the Ether, and so I already have one checked off of my 24 for 24. So go me. Moving on to genres at a glance, I had to make a couple of adjustments down at the bottom because I did not leave myself enough space or enough options, I guess. So I changed my classics genre, air quotations, to literary fiction. I think it just fits a lot better. And then I also did expand the thriller category over to horror because I will be reading a little bit more horror than anything. And sometimes it's so hard to kind of categorize these books because the genres cross over so much. As for my book bingo, I also did a really good job. I read an audiobook, and then I'm going to put a little sticker in the free space because that's just, it always makes it a little bit of fun, give you a little extra bonus. And then I also read a book that I owned. So Circe, I already owned. I got it for my birthday. And I did read a book with LGBTQ plus characters. So that was great. I have not gone further on my series tracker, so that's okay. Moving past the TBR guide, we are going to be doing our January spread now. I really love this picture that I pulled off of Pinterest. It is so stunning. The sword rising out of the water with the glowing emitting from it. Oh, gorgeous, I tell you. So good. I just love how it's simple. My reading year so far in January has started out so well, and I'm kind of baffled at the amount of 5-star reads that I've already read. In the entire year of 2023, I had maybe 10 5-star reads, and I already in the month of January, I think have 4 5-star reads. The only dud that I read this month for me personally was Alone with You in the Ether, which I gave a 3-star. Because I was being a little bit nice, in my opinion. But dang, 4 5-star books is wild. I'm just having such a good time reading. Most of them are audiobooks. I'm on a huge audiobook kick right now. So January, my reading is just starting off really well. And I'm really sticking to my goals, I think. I've been doing a good job. I do not care if the chapter 1 moment in January is cliche. I will do it forever. I love it. I bought these stickers off of some website and I thought Well, I thought they were stickers, but apparently they're not. They're just plastic, so I had to glue them, which I think they're so pretty. Yes, getting into my first 5-star read of the year, Slewfoot. If you love witches, if you love paganism, if you just love the dark, eerie, what is the word? Ambiance? Vibes? Atmosphere. That's the word I'm looking for. That dark, mysterious atmosphere. This is the book for you. Slewfoot is set in the Puritan witch trial days. It's a lush and delicious dark tale that follows Abatha. She is a recently widowed and cunning woman determined to save her farm from the clutches of her greedy brother-in-law. And we end up seeing Abatha befriending a creature in the woods after her village quickly turns on her. And so she is sort of battling against these Puritan laws, as well as trying to find a way of embracing her pagan roots, and also just trying to save her farm and trying to make sure that she has a harvest in order to make money to save it at the end of the season. We get to see this story unfold through several perspectives, not only from Abatha, but from a few villagers as well as creatures. And the narrator does such a wonderful job with this audiobook. She really brings all of these different perspectives to life and just has the absolute perfect voice for it and everything. Truly one of the best audiobooks that I've ever read. It is set in a very unsettling age of whenever religion and patriarchy really had a compulsive obsession with controlling women and often demonized women and claimed them as witches in order to maintain control over them. And so we see that unfold in this story, and it is just a wild ride, and we have that feminine rage. And I just have to say, Samson, absolute sweetest guy. We must protect him at all costs. As quickly as I found a 5-star read, I also found my first flop, and that's okay. So I ended up reading Alone with You in the Ether, and I saw so many of my most beloved and trusted booktubers, book talker, recommenders saying that they love this book, and this book was one that they would 6-star, change their brain chemistry, all that. And unfortunately, it just didn't work for me. I have found that I need more fantastical, whimsical kind of elements to my stories, and maybe I need to train my brain to kind of slow down and enjoy the real mundane things in life. That might just be me, but I really feel like this story fell flat. They very much seemed in their own little bubble, which, Alone with You in the Ether really kind of sticks true to that. But more so over, they just kind of felt like they thought they were better than everybody else, and I really did not vibe with that. However, I did really love and admire the fact that they fell in love with each other for their minds rather than over their bodies. And what I mean by that is that they fell in love with the quirks. They fell in love with the way that they spoke and the quirkiness of their minds, and rather than just lusting over their bodies, they fell in love with the way that they speak, the little mannerisms, the subtle little things that nobody else really notices about maybe another person. And to me, that was really just a breath of fresh air. And I don't regret reading it, because now I know that this isn't really my cup of tea, and that's what 2024 is all about for me, is really honing in on my taste and figuring out what I like. And this just happened to be something that is not it for me, and that's okay. The next book I read is Legends and Lattes. I had so much fun with this one. I don't know what took me so long to read it. It has been blowing up over social media for like the last year, and it could just be my little pick me brain that's just like, it's what's popular. I don't want to read what's popular right now. I'm different. I'm not like the other girls. But I am like the other girls, and I do want to read it. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know why it took so long, but it was so much fun, and it was just so cozy and such a treat and something different. I listened to the audiobook again. I told you I'm on an audiobook kick. But the whole time listening to this story, it really just felt like I was sitting in the booth with them, just watching everything unfold. And there's really nothing better than that, just sitting there and kind of listening and watching. You guys, this book, I don't know why it took me so long to read it as well. Like 2 months. I was currently reading this. So, Circe by Madeline Miller. It felt like a deep introspection into my soul. There were things that she said that I have never been able to quite put into words. This book was truly magical. If you are looking for a book with a badass feminine rage type witch warrior, this is not the book. This is a book for the weary-souled, quiet, introspective, self-aware type person who just never has really felt like they belonged. And Circe is truly someone who is just wanting love, and she cannot find that amongst the gods and goddesses. They're actually very cruel to her, and she ends up being exiled to the island of Aiea, and there she finds solace in solitude and among the mortals, and really hones in on her occult craft. And we do get to meet a few of her lovers, which are very iconic Greek men. However, they are not the precipice of the story. This is Circe's story, and so they come and they go, but moreover, we were really here for Circe, and we get to see her journey through motherhood and how much of a struggle it was being a single mother, and just the lengths that you would go to in order to keep the ones that you loved safe. Never have I ever read a book that has made motherhood, the depiction, so accurate. And I love that Circe is not seen as this rage-filled warrior like goddess. She is actually very soft and nurturing and motherly, and just so deeply stoic. To me, it was such a nice change, and it truly shows that there is also power in the soft and delicate. That is it for the reviews portion. Now we're moving on to the tarot TBR. So typically I would like to do this at the very start of the month. However, that just didn't end up happening, so it's a little bit late rather than never. So this is just kind of like a little practice run to kind of show you a little bit of a sneaky peek of what's going to come in future months. I probably won't put it together with a journal video. I'll probably make it a video of its own and be able to talk to the camera face to face a little bit more rather than a voiceover. The way that this is going to work is that I'm going to pick a few cards, and I have some prompts that I have written according to the meaning of the card that we pull. And so we're going to pick a book based off of those prompts, based off of the card. The first card that I pull is the Knight of Coins, otherwise known as the Pentacles. And then the second card that we pulled is the Queen of Coins, otherwise Pentacles. Then we have the King of Elixirs or Cups. And last but certainly not least, we have the Nine of Blades / Swords. So this tarot deck just kind of changes the name of the arcanas a little bit. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So for me, the Knight of Coins really reminds us to slow down and not treat everything as a race. So for this one, I chose to not do a book. You know, reading is not number based, and so I think that just kind of helps to slow down a little bit. With the King of Elixirs, King of Cups, we get a very peaceful, calming and present ambivalence, very nurturing and wise, calm, peaceful, So I have a book in mind for that already. You guys have already seen the review for it. Hint, hint, hint. So we're going to go ahead and move on to these next two cards for books that I have not yet quite read. For the Queen of Coins, the Queen of Pentacles, in my little fancy book here it says the Queen of Coins, her overbearing nature means she has the tendency to share her opinion even whenever it is not needed or wanted. So the prompt for this one is to pick a book based off of a 1-star review. So we're going to sit on that for a minute as we look at the 9 of Swords, 9 of Blades. And for this one, it says that you may feel like you're bouncing between fight and flight mode every minute of the day. It's not a pleasant place to be. You're riddled with anxiety, fear, delusion, and massive guilt, anguish, and sleepless nights. So I wanted to do more of a thriller, and so that is what I'm going to base this off of. The prompt just says anxiety, fear, sleepless nights. And so thrillers really bring that in for me. We're going to hop back to our little blank January beginning of the month page. And we're going to draw in the tarot cards that we drew. So writing out the card that we actually drew, the prompt for it, and then the book. So again, the Knight of Coins, we went with no book. I'm looking at my little guide here. And then for the Queen of Coins, Queen of Pentacles, I chose Magnolia Parks. I don't know if that fits exactly well. I based it off of a 1-star review. I went and looked at the reviews, and I'm just like, you know what? Perhaps maybe I will like this book. So I don't know. And then as for the 9 of Blades, I've decided to choose The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. It is on my TBR shelf. I physically own it. And it is a thriller that I'd really like to read.
That is going to be it for today's video. I hope that you really enjoyed and it felt very calming and relaxing. I know that I do whenever I watch people do their journal videos. I love being able to just like sit down and body double with them. Honestly, YouTube is like my buddy, my body double buddy, my bubble buddy. Anyways, I'm getting loony. So I hope that you guys have a wonderful rest of your day whenever you are watching this, and don't forget to stay excellent. Bye.